This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, August 31st, last day of August, everyone. I'm Tori here with Al and Erica. Let's get started because America's longest war is officially over, and we just wanted to acknowledge this historic moment. Check out this picture of the very last soldier to depart. This is Major General Chris Donahue as he boards the last military aircraft to take off from Kabul airport yesterday. Now, according to the Pentagon, there are still several hundred Americans left in Afghanistan, and we here at DBL hope and pray that they all get out safely and that they are able to reunite with their families. Not an easy time for all of us. All right, here at home, we're seeing some of the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, and the devastation is left across Louisiana and Mississippi. A massive search and rescue operation is underway as crews try to reach people who are still trapped. There are reports that one man is missing and presumed dead after an alligator attacked him in the floodwaters at his home. In New Orleans, looters were seen ransacking stores. We're also learning it could be weeks before power is restored to the city. Now, yesterday we talked about 67-year-old Al Roker, reporting on the storm and potentially putting himself in danger. But check out what happened to another NBC News reporter, Shaq Brewster.
The rain has stopped. The wind is still going there. I think we even have a random person going around. You know, I'm going to turn this way because, you know, we deal with some people every once in a while. Craig, I'm going to toss it back to you because we have a person who needs a little help right now.
Hey.
Okay, so real quick, if you didn't know, Shaq Brewster is an up-and-coming superstar on MSNBC. He was reporting a white guy in a white pickup truck pulls up to the beach. A white guy runs out, if you watch the full clip, comes over and physically accosts him. Thank God he didn't have a gun. Al, your thoughts?
I mean, I was talking to, I was on the road in my hometown of Cleveland this weekend, and, I saw this. I've talked to comics about this. People are very comfortable. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I think my mic's gone.
Okay. Erica, you want to step in?
Yeah. This is something that happens often to journalists who are on the street. It's extremely unnecessary. They're trying to do their job. I think about this all the time. I remember 4 years ago, I was in Minneapolis reporting on the state fair. So it was a very fluffy thing. And this guy approached me and proceeded to yell at me and call me fake news and all of these different things that he was talking about. And I'm standing there with a corn dog and I'm like, dude, I'm here to talk about this corn dog.
Wow.
Like, you'd really need to back up. And I remember our producer at the time, Joel, came running up to get in between the two of us because it was just so aggressive. And he's like, you're the problem. The media is the problem. And it's like, people have their opinions.
Right.
And obviously this is a very heightened time, especially to be in a place where, a natural disaster is striking. But you need to exercise a little common sense. And if you can't exercise common sense, we need people to protect
we need
the
security.
people who are on the ground.
I agree. I completely agree. What do you think? And it was like about storm. It wasn't anything controversial even. So you think maybe we don't need security, but then you do.
What I was saying was I was in Cleveland this weekend performing, talking to other comics, and I was talking about an incident when I was in Cincinnati, and a woman rushed the stage on me. She was blacked out drunk. I've had comics that have recently, like within the last couple of months, had shot glasses thrown at their heads. There is something going on.
Anger.
We see it on airplanes. We see it with reporters reporting on the weather, Erica. There is the barrier that used to be is no longer.
I agree.
And now people just feel free to do whatever because there have, to this point, been no repercussions. We're starting to see it a little bit with airlines. But until that man is charged with assault and who knows what else, he was unmasked. Who knows what he could have had on his person.
He could have had a weapon. Oh, my God. I know. They are actively searching for him. And if you go on Twitter, people are asking to look at the logo and the
He's on the
license
news.
plate. So they are actively looking for him.
Found him.
I know. Lastly, this is some of the destruction at Dukes of Hazzard actor John Schneider's Louisiana home and studio. And a tree totally smashed one of his cars. Wow. Can you imagine the amount of force it takes to rip up a tree like that from the roots?
Yeah, that's scary. Erica, have you been through a hurricane?
Well,
you almost
we just missed it. When Grace was supposed to make landfall, we were in Mexico, and so.
And be clear, this is a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we were evacuated from our room, and thankfully we were because our room was destroyed. But it wasn't. The eye of the storm didn't actually come through.
Wow.
It was just how violent the winds and the rains were. So yeah, we didn't even know the first thing to do. I mean, I got floaties, for God's sake. I didn't know what to do. I mean, because it's such a crazy thing how all of a sudden, like,
so fast.
Everything changes like that.
Yeah, the force is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a very serious situation.
Yeah, we're thinking of all you out there. Well, this is another anniversary today. Today's marking the 24th year since the death of Princess Diana. Now, we all remember she died in a car crash in Paris in 1997. She was 36 years old. I'm 39. She was 36 years old. You forget that. Fans of the late princess paid tribute at Kensington Palace, waiting in line to go in and see the new Diana statue that was unveiled by her sons earlier this summer. We talked about RFK and Sirhan yesterday, and most people out there remember where they were when this happened. Do you both remember where you were when Princess Di was killed?
No, and I'm not saying that the Princess Di wasn't like a key figure in my life, but she was in yours. So why don't you talk about that?
Well, I just what was interesting to me is the disconnect between the Buckingham Palace and the people when she passed. And if you remember, it was just overloads of people putting the flowers. Remember this? The flowers went flowers and flowers. And the Queen refused to come out because there was some tension there. And the people were saying, this was our princess. This was our princess. You're not getting this. And finally, allegedly, Tony Blair, the prime minister at the time, had to go to Queen Elizabeth and say, you got to say something. You're missing this. She made the connection before Harry, before Meghan, that no one else had. And she was murdered so violently by the press, in my opinion. What do you think, Erica?
I remember being at home and watching the coverage, and I remember
the car.
My parents talking about it. And in some respects, I mean, I'm 40, and in some respects, I learned about her from the time of her death backwards.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
Because I didn't make the connection as well. And when you learned about all of her humanitarian efforts, and now we know so much more about the monarchy and someone making that decision 24 years ago, plus years ago, to step out and be their own person and to help other people. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, and if you don't remember, if it's sort of in the past, she was someone that was held out a hand, but I mean like literally with someone with AIDS, she would hold them when people weren't touching people with AIDS. Right. She was that kind of a princess. There was no barrier. So
do you think this movie will help?
I do, and I
know you're not super excited about the pick.
I didn't see Kristen Stewart having the same warmth, but I think people are just going to be constantly, forever interested in her story.
I'd agree.
Wow. All right, coming up on DBL, do women really say sorry too much? Sorry about that. We're talking about why it might be time for the ladies to take their power back. Plus, she was given a second chance at life and is now sharing how running can have a positive impact on mental health. You do not want to miss this really inspirational story. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning provided by
So yeah, some people are also writing in Marcianne saying, oh, sorry, that wasn't Marcianne, John Venturini, about Mike Richards. If you didn't know, the host of Jeopardy has stepped down as executive producer also of Jeopardy after this entire debacle went bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think it just got bigger than Jeopardy, and they wanted to get rid of the story. And so he is out as of today. I know him. He's a really nice guy who I'm not sure all this was necessary. That's up to each person on their own. What do you guys think?
I don't even know if it's up to each person. It doesn't affect them. I mean, you could say this story got bigger in terms of him being the host. I can have that conversation. But do you know the executive producers on any other of Wheel of Fortune?
No.
Right. And would that prevent you from watching the show unless it was something egregious? I don't.
Pat Sajak actually is really
Well, no. I think just like it's always been kind of like my thought that the reason why they didn't go with a bigger talent is because they didn't want someone to overshadow the show.
Whoops.
But then when Mike Richards became the story, then I can see how that would influence the culture on set, especially because it was so tumultuous. So I would imagine that he got a severance package. I would imagine that he was parachuted out, but who knows?
He's also the executive producer still, I believe, at Price is Right. Right. And it's true, Pat Sajak, the host of Wheel of Fortune, has made really radical claims about environment, climate change, and he seemingly is fine. So something happened with this Mike Richards. And, Claire Lapierre, if you read her article, she's the one who discovered the Random Show, his podcast. She said, honestly, what Erica said is true, is that what a lot of people felt was the culture itself at Jeopardy had changed so drastically with him that it became somewhat toxic for a lot of people. And if that's true, I understand that. And if the story got too big, I also understand that. But man, that guy went from here to here so fast.
Yes, and I know he was compensated for it, but losing your reputation and your life's work. I mean, that's a lot. I don't like the direction this is going.
Yeah. Welcome back to DBL. So do women apologize too much? So recently, Naomi Asaka posted a lengthy message on Twitter talking about how she vows to end her self-deprecating mindset and start celebrating herself more. She ended the statement by saying, quote, "I know I give my heart to everything I can, and if that's not good enough for some, then my apologies." But a Yahoo Sports writer took issue with that and said women apologize too much for things that are out of their control, like injustice, sexism, or even walking indoor at the same time as someone else, and that man never seems to do the same. This has been on my radar. I don't know if it's been in your orbit for the past couple of months, because there's been an ad out where a woman's writing to her boss and she's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah." And then it says, "Really edit what you say." And she gets rid of everything but "let's talk about this in the morning." She gets rid of all the "I'm sorry," all this. I over apologize. It's a weakness, and I think I see it with women more. What do you think, Erica?
You definitely see it with women more. I mean, I've definitely done it because there's this discomfort in not doing it sometimes. Sometimes it's just a space filler, like
silent
sorry.
Yeah.
But recently, especially in the past year, I've really made a conscious effort to, and sometimes in my mind I'm saying, don't you dare apologize right now. Like, do not apologize.
Totally.
Because it really does come across as like you're in the wrong, and a lot of times you're not in the wrong. You're just saying sorry for no reason.
Have you noticed that with women and men?
I can only speak for myself, but I've noticed it with myself, and I would say in the last 2 years I've made a conscious effort to, when I am sending emails, you know, sometimes an email will get buried, and you'll say, "I'm sorry, I missed this," something like that. You just say, "I missed this. Let's discuss."
Right.
And it's such a default word, sorry, but it does, in a weird way, subjugate you a little bit. And it does, words mean something. Words are powerful, and we see with the rhetoric that is used in our political systems, that are used by the higher ups, they use the same phrases like "circle back to this," and these kind of like corporate speak, but there's a reason that they speak a certain way and that the people underneath them speak a different way. I'll just ask everybody watching, how many times have you gotten an email from your boss saying, "I'm sorry"?
Right. Well, no, that's a really great thing, or a great question. But also, I think we're missing such a big part of this. Naomi Osaka was talking about the idea that she feels unable to celebrate herself. And I think, especially since the pandemic hit, there is this prevailing idea, like when things are going well for you, when things are going so unwell for others, then there's this survivor's remorse. There's this guilt about being successful. And I always caution people about really pointing the finger at people who are doing the most or possibly doing the best in this moment. Because if you don't celebrate that, then you're also kind of taking away the goal of you getting to your best in that moment. So I think it's really important for us to see her win and celebrate herself and celebrate those wins, because it gives license to everyone who might be doing well in the moment to have appreciation for that moment.
That is so beautifully said. And if you are a woman right now and you are writing an email and you're writing, "Oh, I'm sorry to bring this up again," try erasing it and just get to the point and say, "Hey, let's circle back." Coming up on DBL, a woman runs for her life after surviving a suicide attempt. Her journey to completing an ultra marathon, that's hundreds of miles, coming up next.
Although it's still summer, some trees are acting like it's fall. Has fall come early? No, but some trees have been stressed by recent hot weather and lack of rain. This can cause trees to turn colors prematurely. According to the University of Kentucky Forest Health Research and Education Center, trees that change color early could be the lingering effects of the dry condition. Some tree species, like tulip poplars, are more likely to show this even if they've recently gotten good rainfall. Trees that are already stressed are prone to show these symptoms even more. Hot, dry summers not only stress trees, but they can also cause less vivid fall colors like the autumn of 2019. At the same time, some discoloration could actually be seed pods that are getting ready to drop. Some insects, like locust leaf miners, and diseases such as bacterial leaf scorch show up this time of year and can also cause brown leaves or early fall leaf coloring on certain tree species.
Welcome back to DBL. One person dies every 11 minutes from suicide. That's a staggering stat that could have included Carol Sepulou. We talk with her in today's DBL Spotlight. A warning, this next segment may be triggering to some.
On a remote island just off the coast of Alaska, where there are more seabirds than humans, Carol Sepulou spends her childhood. Savunga, Alaska, a small town submerged in poverty, many of its residents turn to drugs and alcohol as their lifeline. At age 13, Carol dives into a deep depression. By age 16, she is dependent on alcohol, and after a night of drinking, she takes her father's hunting rifle and pulls the trigger. Some may call it divine intervention. Carol's hand slips and the gun dips. She's still alive. But doctors say Carol will never see or speak again. And for the next decade, she fights her way back. Her sight returns to perfect vision. Then comes her speech with the help of a trachea tube. She chooses to wear a mask as a form of comfort. In 2017, after choosing to stop her years of painful reconstructive surgeries, Carol's depression returns. A friend suggests she runs to escape. She starts by walking 2 painstaking miles. A year later, she's able to run those 2 miles. Today, Carol is an ultra marathoner, where she runs hundreds of miles at a time.
Carol is finishing up the 50K.
It becomes her lifeline and her why.
Coming into the finish. Woo!
Carol, welcome to DBL. First of all, it's good to see you here. To help our audience better understand your truly remarkable recovery from your injury, take us back to the day when the doctors told your family what happened when you got to the hospital. Can you take us back there?
So, they told my mother that I had a 50% chance of surviving. I woke up in the ICU and I wasn't sure what happened, and I motioned for a pen and a paper. The first words I wrote was, "What happened?"
You know, after your suicide attempt, there was a moment in your hospital bed, and I want you to take us there. Take us there and tell us what happened.
So in the ICU, I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I fell back into my pillow, and an old village appeared. And like great grandmothers, they were sitting on the ground, and they beckoned for me. I went over to them. They told me that everything was going to be okay, and that I had to come back, that I was going to do great things. I listened to them, and I came back with a powerful purpose.
That story means so much because you did go on to do great things. You are doing great things. You're an ultra marathoner. I mean, just a marathoner in itself would be exceptional, but an ultra marathoner running hundreds of miles at a time. And during your 100-mile marathon, what was the hardest part for you?
The first 70 miles are actually very fun for me. I love being outdoors for hours. But you get into a moment where everything starts to get painful and you just want to quit. I had that moment at mile 92 where I just started breaking down and crying. But I was out in the middle of nowhere, so I told myself, we need to get to the finish. And that's what I focused on, and that's what pulled me through.
You know, let's talk about those dark moments, because I have a hard time not drawing a parallel between the emotional, mental dark moments that we have for mental health issues and also the physical dark moments. How do you find the light and just keep going?
You have to have a goal to look forward to. When I'm running these long distances, I know how I'm going to feel at the finish. It's a very happy and fulfilling feeling, and going through those dark moments, you have to focus on it. And it's just like life. We all have beautiful and perfect moments waiting to happen. I know how happy I'm going to be when I get there, so just keep putting one foot in front of the other and you'll get there.
Be sure to follow Carol on Instagram to learn more about suicide awareness and to be truly inspired. Carol, you spoke to a lot of people and a lot of our viewers today that have been in that position or are in that position today. So thank you for sharing your story with us today. If you or someone you know are having thoughts of suicide, we want to give you some numbers for help. You can call the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 800-273-8255. We're also going to be putting up some other numbers on the screen you see here. Take a screenshot, please. Reach out if you or someone you know is in need. We need you here on Earth. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
That sound means it's time to verify. Tyson Foods, Hanes Brand, several healthcare providers. There's a growing list of companies mandating the COVID-19 vaccine for employees. So viewer Daryl Whitaker messaged us asking, is it true a company could be held liable with OSHA if the company required you to take the COVID-19 vaccine? He sent us a screenshot appearing to be from the OSHA website. It states if you require employees to get vaccinated as a condition of employment, you must record adverse reactions to the COVID vaccine. Let's verify. My sources for this are the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, known as OSH or OSHA. Also Jennifer Hagewood with the North Carolina Department of Labor, and Darren Howard, workers' compensation attorney at law for Dummett Frayden. The answer here is layered. First, OSHA. It sets and enforces standards for safe and healthy working conditions. Hagewood explained OSHA issues citations and penalties to OSH-regulated companies who fail to report work-related fatalities and hospitalizations. And until recently, they were required to report adverse COVID-19 vaccine reactions too. But in the time since viewer Daryl sent in his question, OSHA updated its guidelines on adverse reactions to company-mandated vaccines. The FAQ page now explains OSHA does not wish to disincentivize employers' vaccination efforts, so OSHA will not enforce requirements for employers to record worker side effects from COVID vaccinations. This policy is effective through May 2022. So what does this mean for you, the employee? Well, OSHA regulates the company, not the employee, so you could try to file a state workers' compensation claim if you miss work for a bad reaction to a mandated COVID vaccine, but you might not win the case.
If somebody does receive the vaccine because it was mandated by their workplace, and that individual, if they were to experience negative side effects down the road, that, in my opinion, is not going to be a claim in North Carolina. That would be an individual claim or perhaps even a class action claim against the pharmaceutical company that developed the drug itself, or the vaccine, I should say.
And remember, most states, including North Carolina, are employment at will states, meaning employers can mandate employees to do certain tasks like get the COVID-19 vaccine. In conclusion, we verified the claim OSHA is requiring companies to report mandated vaccine side effects is false. They don't have to do that through next spring because OSHA's priority is to encourage vaccinations. And while you, the employee, can pursue other avenues of liability like workers' compensation, decide if it's worth the time and cost for potentially little to no payout. Attorney Howard noted you're far more likely to hold an employer accountable if you can prove you contracted COVID-19 in the workplace. That's why you could see more companies mandate or at least incentivize the vaccine. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Welcome back to DBL. Losing weight can feel impossible at times, but we have some tips to make it easier. We're chatting about them today on DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. It's important to know that working out harder won't get the weight off quicker. It turns out our bodies will simply adapt to any workout plan, and no matter how hard you work in the gym, you'll eventually stop shedding those pounds. So research shows that diet and nutrition has a much larger impact on weight loss than an intense workout does. Exercise is important, but mostly to maintain fitness and your current weight. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. They say they make the abs in the kitchen.
I've actually heard that. That's not how the saying goes, but close.
Is it? They make them in the kitchen.
The abs in the kitchen, like a casserole.
That's it.
Doesn't make any
We'll
sense.
see you tomorrow, like a casserole.